Welcome, guys, to this 7-part series I'm doing with the one and only Brian Medina. What's up, Brian?
I don't know what I was gonna say.
Jeez. This is all uncut, so.
Oh, yeah, okay, cool. Let's start.
Okay.
Okay, so we're doing a 7-part series, and it's a little different.
It's not a podcast, so I know you guys are seeing us together.
Right.
We have a background, we got stools.
It was originally supposed to be a podcast.
Correct.
But then we've done that before, so why do it again?
And the first
I
one.
mean, we could do it again.
The first one never went.
I'm not saying no. We're just leaving it. Yeah. We're leaving it open, but this is something different.
Yeah, so Brian and I mean, we finally got a place, a studio, that one, it's my home, and two, I have the space to actually make a studio. So I told Brian, the holiday just came up, and like I was trying to express to Brian, this has never been done on YouTube. Nobody's ever
I think it has. I mean, it's definitely been done.
You think so?
Yes.
All right, so basically, because this is the first episode, I'm gonna give you kind of a rundown. You won't understand it until you see it when it comes out. So basically, we're recording one episode, right, for the series every single month for the next 7 months. July 1st is a Monday. July 1st will be episode 1, and then from there you will see. So basically, every episode is.
I want you to zoom into my face as you're explaining this.
You're confused. So
it took me about a month to understand what he was trying to say.
Yeah, let's just say when it comes out, you'll see it. You guys will see the watermark.
So basically, you're watching the past.
Exactly.
That's basically all it is. That's all you have to say.
Thanks, Brian. See, this is why I have this guy. So the yang and the yang.
You're watching it in July.
Yeah, they'll be watching.
But this is January.
Correct.
Like, as we're speaking.
You see the time. You see the watermark.
Yes.
Probably on Brian's side.
Yeah.
And I don't. It's been a while since I picked up this camera. But
you're right.
So,
it would be like here. Yeah.
So basically, what's happening is. What we talked and we said, okay, we're not going to do a podcast. How about we, give people the 7 pillars of what we think life is. I just turned 25 yesterday, and Brian is.
I just turned 45 2 weeks ago. I'm the ripe old age of 26.
Really?
Yeah, I'm 26.
You're only a year older than me.
Yes.
No, you're 2 years older. You'll be 27 this year.
Right. Exactly.
That's how the
a year and a half.
Show's going great so far.
Yeah, it's not.
No, but this is the growth that you guys are gonna see.
This is what people want to see.
Yeah, on YouTube.
Yeah.
So 30 minutes of just.
And by the way, I'm not as comfortable in front of a camera as I always thought I was.
You would have been.
No, like I always thought I was like really comfortable in front. I'm being totally transparent with you guys. This is hard for me. Like every time a camera pops up, like I freeze. I act weird. I always thought that I always thought that I'd be good in front of a camera, but I've noticed over the past year, ever since like you started like vlogging and all that, I've noticed that like this camera's starting to scare me.
Why?
I don't know.
Is it because you don't have control of editing it?
No, I think it's just I don't know. I don't know what it is. Like I always think I could do it, but I don't know. I'm sidetracking. This is not our topic.
Yeah, it's fine. Alright, so we're going back to the topic. So basically, like I said, for the next 7 months, what we're going to be doing is talking about these pillars. And the first pillar that we decided would be important to make as our episode 1 would be money. Because everyone knows about money, everybody deals with money, everybody, some point in their life has to come across any type of currency. So we said, you know what, let's...
So today's episode is about pesos.
So... Oh, good thing we don't have a podcast going on. Yeah. I'm just kidding. But no, like I said, it's a topic that we look back and said, I think... Let's make this, and let's see how this turns out. Let's talk about these 7 topics. Let's do this. It's going to be an interesting project/series that we're doing, and I appreciate you, Brian, for actually committing and being here the day after my birthday. I know it's a Tuesday.
Sure. He just
it's
wants
like
a birthday shout out. He just wants a birthday shout out.
It's 10 degrees outside.
Happy birthday in July. when you're watching
this,
when
we watch back,
his birthday was like half a year ago.
It's so true. See, you think, okay, that's at least you get the concept.
Yeah.
Simply,
and by the way, we're being serious about this. We spent a lot of money on lighting.
Yeah.
Like a lot of money.
I know, and it's like right now, the lighting is actually only going to get better throughout the year because we're only going to be adding more light bulbs through the months.
I can't do this.
No, but it's crazy because right now we're looking outside and we have obviously
It's all
windows and
natural
stuff.
lighting.
Yeah, and like there's snow right now.
So if you say you don't have the equipment to get started, you're lying to yourself.
You're not just
You
stand in
need
front
windows.
of I'm lucky because I have side windows and I got 3 big windows right in front of me.
Exactly.
So yeah, there's snow out right now, and when
I
this
think our
comes out,
beards are blending in with the background. I don't think we
Really?
thought about that. Yeah, that's okay.
now I'm a little ginger in mine, but it's alright. So let's get to the topic. I mean, we joked around for the first.
It's been 20 minutes already.
No,
Well, that's a wrap.
Oh, it's been 6 minutes.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about the topic.
Okay.
So the
Well,
topic is money.
Yes, correct.
What's your question?
About money?
Mm-hmm. What you want to talk about?
About the value of money and how much people actually put behind it.
Okay.
And how money do you think money runs the world?
Yes.
How so?
So I mean, literally, if you don't have any money, you can't eat. You can't. You don't have shelter. I mean, in a capitalist society, at least it runs the world.
Yeah, I think you gotta make
Yeah.
that specific
Yeah.
because there's third countries in the world that people literally live in a hut.
Because they have no money. Yes, so you're proving my point.
No, that's true. That's true. But in a capitalistic world,
Yeah.
money does make the world go around.
Yes.
But like, here's the second question to that: do you think money makes you happy?
Yeah, to a certain extent. That's very important to a certain extent because you can be like I think they say like you need like 70 grand, 80 grand a year to be like happy, you know, because your
In the
bills are
US?
all paid. Yeah, to like live a normal life, you know, to be happy.
Here in the States.
Here in the States, in the United
Because
States.
I have been watching, and I know you told me about this man, and I actually started watching more videos on him. It's Tony Robbins.
Oh, Tony Robbins. Yeah.
And he said, I mean, this is quoting him. He said that
Maybe
people-
we'll have him on our show one day.
And then, I mean, he does podcasts all
He
around.
does.
He
Yeah.
probably comes
He's a
in
very
and do this.
busy man. I don't think he's coming.
He's at a private jet somewhere.
Yeah.
No, but he said the whole in the world, like the minimum wage for the
Mhm.
world is like $2.50 is what people live on.
Yeah.
Only here in the States do we have. Do you know what the
Well, in
minimum-
Chicago,
Yeah.
it's $12, I think.
Is it now went
Yeah,
up to
yeah,
$12?
yeah. And then like Bernie Sanders and stuff, they're fighting for it to be like 15.
Okay.
15.
Do you still believe? Because I know when we had the podcast, there was one thing that you were talking about that you wanted to see, which was everybody had the same amount of salary, or what was it called?
Oh, I was talking about the universal basic income.
There you go.
Yeah,
I'd like
yeah.
for you to talk because that does fall
Yeah,
perfectly on this topic.
I'm sort of I'm a supporter of the universal basic income. It's the idea that people they basically receive a paycheck every
And
month
that's
from
everybody in the
government.
US?
Everybody.
Okay.
There's people that would exclude people under 18. I'm not one of them though. I think every single person, even babies, should get a paycheck.
But where would that money come from?
Well, exactly. I don't know. There's no seriously though. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know.
Don't you think it'd be
And-
easier if you do from 18?
Well, there's smarter people than me that have figured it out already. I know you heard that. Too.
Yeah.
Like our thing's gonna fall. There's smarter people than me that have already sort of figured it out. You can do taxing on stock trading and all this weird
All this
stuff.
other stuff.
But yeah, there is.
And how much money would that be for everybody?
Joe Rogan was talking about this on his podcast. I think it's a ridiculous amount of money. It's like 800 billion or something like that. It's like $1 trillion.
Don't say, but how much would each person?
That's just from 18 to old age.
But how much would that annual income be then?
Well, it's not going to be like it's not enough money to party around with. It's like enough to make sure your basic needs are met.
So with that-
I'm talking food and shelter at the bare minimum.
So on a monthly basis would be over under $1,000.
I'm thinking realistically over $1,000, a little over $1,000.
So yearly,
yes.
over under 30,000.
But that's slippery, and I don't know. It's like the basic income is a great idea to think about. I don't know how it would be implemented. I don't even know if it's feasible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just when you start asking questions, it just sounds crazy. But I would make the counter argument that we spend billions and billions and billions of dollars on wasteful things that we don't need. I mean, fighting wars in countries that don't even want us there. And, it's just like right now as we speak, we're in like 2-3 wars right now. We lost track. Like we've been at war since since we were kids. Yeah.
I remember the first war for me was 9/11. I was
Yeah.
second grade.
Exactly.
And people are like,
but not to
"What
go
are you
off track because that's another topic for another day.
No, but all that is funded by money. You need money,
funded by money,
and we pay money. I mean, I got upset. I mean, to bring it to a smaller scale, I was upset this weekend when it snowed the whole weekend, and I'm like, all right, I'm paying taxes, and outside in the main street that I live on, they didn't pass the snow shovel.
Yeah.
I don't have speed bumps in my block.
Right.
It's just one.
You just slide all the way through.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good for gas. Just slide your way to your destination.
Yeah, but then if you hit something and then you don't have control. But I'm saying like little things like that. It's like you see, like for me, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if you know your amount, but for me, every paycheck they take away 23%. I am a single male, 25, and they take away 23% of my paycheck. Mm-hmm. And I see this every time I get paid.
It's a lot. Yeah.
It's a lot, and I'm just and then it breaks it down. Obviously, it goes to federal, it goes to Social Security, it goes to this. Mm-hmm. But then my question to you is like, okay. Do you still think by the time we're supposed to retire, we'll have enough money that we can live on Social Security, or do you still think that's
I think if you put your money in the right places,
such as give an example,
like good investment accounts that have steady growth over years.
Well, what is that? Because we be so generic and tell people be like. Right now, somebody could be watching. Well, tell me which one do I do, Brian? Because I want to do it, but I don't know how to start.
Google it. I don't know. Look, I know, but I'm serious. Yeah. Like, there's a billion different options. Yeah, okay. You gotta choose the one that's right for you. But there's stock options that have very slight growth over the course of like 50 years, and they're not gonna make you rich in like a year or 2 years, but definitely companies like Coca-Cola and stuff. They just have steady growth. They've been having steady growth since the 1900s. So you can invest in stuff like that. And then I watched a video the other day, and basically you could put, I heard like $10,000 away, and then by the time you're 70 or 60, you'll have like $1 million, 1.5 million in the bank just from that little investment.
From 10,000?
Yeah,
that's not bad.
If you know where to put your money, I don't know.
I mean, I think
depending on Social Security and stuff.
Social Security.
I don't. Under our current circumstances, I don't think Social Security is a realistic. And that's not because
when we retire.
Yeah, and that's not because the Social Security doesn't work. It's because, they basically use as we give the money from our paychecks, they're basically using the money. Instead of putting into a savings account for each and every one of us. So, anyway, that's a good
way to talk, because it's like people need to know about this money and how money like gets distributed, and like people are always talking about, I want more money, I want to get paid more, I want to get, and I don't know, man, working in a job now that's like I see there's layers, supervisors, leads, managers, GMs, district. It's like you're just like, man, like you really got to get into a field. The only advice I would give to people watching, and me being 25 right now, I look at my life and tell me if I'm wrong. If you think if you see life differently, please share with me. But for me, I feel the first 25. Like yesterday, I turned 25 at 2:50. Right, I went to my mom. She was telling me whatever. Mm-hmm. And she's just, and I'm like, wow, I didn't do absolutely nothing. I didn't do shit with my life for 25 years.
Yeah.
Like looking back at it, I'm like. First, let's be honest, the first 10 to 15 years, what you're doing is learning life.
Right.
Tying your shoes, doing basic math, mm-hmm. understanding, going to class, getting bullied, bullying other kids. Like,
it's good that you talk about that, because I honestly do think from 0 to 25, that's not on you. I feel like that's a learning experience. And then from 25 and up, I feel like, you kind of have to make your life your own.
Yeah, you kind of got to go from it, because it's like, okay, you can't.
There's no excuse after 25, like anything.
So are we gonna call 25 being that?
That's the cutoff.
Okay, that's so 25 is the cutoff.
If your life sucks and you're over 25, I'm gonna tell you right now, if your life sucks and you're over 25, that's your fault.
It's hard. You gotta hear, but
it sucks, but it's true. Nobody's taking care of you. I'm sure there's some special situation where maybe that's true for somebody, but in most cases in the United States, if you're over 25, like you're done with school, you're working.
You should be done with school.
You should be done with school.
Even if you took a semester or two off, you still should be done.
There's doctors out there who are like, I'm going to graduate when I'm 32. It's like, cool.
Well, that's
I mean,
good. I
but
mean, that's good for them. If they're
I
in school
hope you're
and-
going to school for a long time. If you're going to be my doctor, I want you to know what you're doing.
Yeah,
But at the
there's
same time,
specific fields that school, obviously.
But at the same time, you can't be in
lawyers,
school
doctor.
forever.
Exactly.
But that's,
some people do.
That's a topic for another day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's keep it. No, but long story short, with the whole money, like if we're calling 25, the way I look at it and where my mindset is, and Brian knows that I'm goal driven, and this year I'm kind of stepping away from having goals, but what I want to say is the next 25 years of my life, I don't see why at the age of 50, if I'm, God willing, if I have great health and I'm able to see to 50, I don't see why I can't be retired. Because if I didn't do shit for the first 25 years of my life, and now that I know what I know,
you're conscious.
Now that I'm conscious, I'm like, okay, let me save 5,000 this year. Next year, let me double it. And then, throughout life, you're gonna, hopefully you find a partner that you can live with and grow together.
Yeah, exactly.
Financially, you could do that because money is also, like you said, you don't need to. I don't know.
Your brain fully develops at the age of 26, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, it stops developing.
Brian facts.
It stops developing at 25 or 26, one of those years. It could be between 24 and 26 because everyone's different.
Yeah.
But the point is that your brain's fully developed at that point. You should have the foresight to plan your future.
And and then there's people who grow up quicker than that.
Yeah.
There's situations that people come across.
I think so me and you are similar in the fact that we have big, lofty goals, right? In life, we're not the type of people who settle and we have big ambitions, right?
Exactly.
So in that case, me and you, I think, are not so worried about our future. But say if you're someone who works a regular job and that's where you're going to be for the rest of your life.
I'm worried about my future. What do you mean? Be specific, because I would have to.
Well, because people like me and you have, there's multiple doorways we can enter, right?
Of course.
There's we have multiple. In the future, we're hoping that we have multiple ways of making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right?
Because of
what we want to do.
I want to capture this on camera. What's a lot of money to you as of right now, today?
Like I said, the 70,000, 80,000 is good.
You would be happy at a job that you like doing. Well, we got to make this specific.
Yes.
A job that you like doing, because a lot of
anything that meets my living, it allows me to live and allows me to, have a place and eat and, be healthy. I can afford health insurance and stuff like that, and I can afford to put money away every single month.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you're okay. You're good.
Yeah.
You don't have to be. I know on the podcast I used to be like, I want to be a multi-billionaire and everything, dude. If you have $1 million,
but that's because we've grown in the last.
Yeah, exactly.
How long ago did we stop the podcast? 2 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was 2 years.
From 2 years ago to now, lots has changed.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm gonna be upfront. And
I'm a little more humble. I don't know. I used to be a little more ego driven and
your ideas used to be a little bit crazier.
I'm gonna have $100 billion, and then I'll be happy. It's I'm happy now.
There's still one
I could be happier financially, meaning I'm not at $70,000.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But that's
close.
a goal that you want.
That's
to
a goal. But I know that.
Let me ask you this: when you get to that goal, then what do you think is going to happen after that?
Well, at that point,
are you gonna be greedy and be like, oh, I should get 100,000?
It's not about that at that point. I think it's about actually doing what you love at that point.
That's true, because I've always said if
I think you should have a minimum that you want to reach, and the minimum shouldn't be something crazy. It should be something that you can live from. Because I'm not super materialistic. I don't need a Ferrari or anything like that.
Well,
it'd be cool to have one day, But
one thing that's still.
I don't have such a huge lifestyle that I need.
You're not gonna go buy a Rolex.
I need millions of dollars a year. I don't have that lifestyle. Exactly. I'm not buying Rolexes every month. Exactly.
You're not gonna buy a Lamborghini.
So I don't have a lot to keep up with. So for me, the most important thing is that I'm eating and I have a place to live, and
But there's some kids who's gonna be watching this, and there's some adults. Everybody's in a different place in their life.
Yes.
We're both similar in that we're in our mid-20s, and we're kind of in that struggle. And maybe a 30-year-old would be watching this and be like, these kids don't know absolutely
you might be
nothing.
In a position.
They don't know about kids. They don't know about what's to come.
You might be in a position where. You want to buy a Tesla one day.
Yeah, that's crazy you say that.
Well, and if you want to buy a Tesla, the reality is that you can't.
You can, that's a possibility.
No, I said you can't.
Oh, you can't?
If you're making a certain amount of money. You just can't.
Explain.
So if you're making $40,000 a year.
Okay.
at the current Tesla price for the entry model Tesla, you can't really afford the Tesla.
Why? How much is it?
The Tesla starts at $35,000, but the one you want is like $65,000. Like that's the one you want. Yeah.
I don't work for Tesla, but the one you want.
You don't want the $35,000 with 100-mile range or whatever.
Oh, is that it?
No, it's like 200-mile range, but the one that's like $65,000 has all-wheel drive, and it's like.
Is it 300 miles?
Yeah, it's like 320 miles or something,
That's
which is like a
topic.
regular car.
That's another topic we're gonna say, which is technology.
But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that if that's the lifestyle you want, and you want a Tesla, and a Tesla's not a crazy car,
no,
but it's expensive enough that if you're making $40,000 a year, you can't afford it.
And
you could make the payments.
That
doesn't mean you can afford it.
To piggyback off that,
yeah,
I believe that because one, you see a lot of young kids who have like these Mercedes and stuff, and when you look at them, you're like, you still live with your mom.
They're just flexing, dude.
Yeah, and you still live with your mom. Either your mom gave you the money or your dad gave you the money. But
or they're paying for it. A lot of times they are.
Yeah, I have an example.
But they're broke.
I have a perfect example.
Their whole check's going on that Mercedes payment.
I have a perfect example. You know him, and I don't want me to shout him out. Hopefully he's not watching this deep into the video, but Cody.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this kid, I think he's 21 now. And when he was 20...
He's only 21?
Yeah.
Wow.
And for the age of 20, he's like, I'm going to do everything I can to buy a Mercedes offhand.
Yeah.
And he saved up, I think it was like 12... I don't want to get in your pockets, dude, but I'm sorry. But he saved like $10,000 to $14,000.
That's a lot.
And he bought the car cash.
Wow. That's cool.
That wasn't a brand new Mercedes, but he was smart.
Cool.
Yeah, he bought... Yeah. Now that's him. That's
cool.
To me a kid who said... All I want is a Mercedes. I don't want anything. I don't want woman. I don't want this. I don't want
just
buy a
helicopter. Yeah.
I just want this. He set his mind. He put a year away.
Yeah,
and he did it.
Do that. Yeah.
And people can do that. And that's all we're trying to say is that
you can do that. But at the same time, he's young.
Yeah, that's
true.
He's
able to.
Yeah, because he has the freedom of living.
He doesn't have kids. He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't. He's not living. I mean, well, at that point, he wasn't like living on his own. I don't think.
Yeah, I set my mind, and even like this, you can attest to this. Yeah. When I was living at my mom's. At my parents' house, I was just like, I want to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do I want to get out of here, I want to do like this guy went to an interview with me literally a year ago to that chicken plant place. I'll fucking say it. I don't work there anymore. And it was
you worked there for like 3 days.
I worked there for a month, and I was there, and I hated it. And it was HR as an HR position.
It was not Tyson Chicken. It was not.
No. It was.
It was not Purdue. It wasn't any like big chicken company.
You know the guy who owns that company though is one of the richest guys in Chicago.
Who? Purdue guy?
No. The guy is the where I worked at.
Oh, really?
The guy, he has a lot
good
of money.
For him. That's good. Chicken sells, dude. I buy chicken. My money's going to him.
But basically what I'm trying to say is like, you just gotta, I don't know, like when it comes to money, it's like you need a goal. And if you don't have a goal, you're never going to go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. If you're just floating through life, you're always going to be living paycheck to paycheck.
And have you been there? Let's talk about that. That's a good transition. Living paycheck to paycheck. Have you ever?
Of course, my whole life. No, there was one point where I wasn't living paycheck to paycheck, but I lost my job, and then I had to, I was paying off credit cards, and I was in a situation where I paid off all my debt, and then I lost my job. This was like a year ago, and then the credit card debt just came back because emergency mode. I didn't have an emergency fund or anything like that, so. Yeah,
Do you recommend people out there watching this to get credit cards?
No.
To me, it's a yes or no.
No.
Yes. Excuse me. Yes, because of an emergency, and no, because.
No.
Why?
Because it's fake emergency fund. It's fake. Like a real emergency fund is cash. It's money that you actually saved up.
But let me ask you, say if you don't have any money saved up.
Well, you have to use your credit card. That's what I did, but it's not a good situation. It's not recommended.
So what you're telling people is to save their money.
Yes.
And definitely. What about if I come to you? I'm telling
everyone to save. I'm a single
parent. I have no money. I work part time, and I have 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
How can I save money?
Well, you can't save money if you're in the same position that you were in last year. You can't. You have to sort of figure out a way to advance yourself and make more money.
But how do you do that?
Sometimes that means working 2 jobs. Like, it sucks. There's no easy explanation, but if you want more money, Look, the traditional person trades time for money, right?
Okay, I like this.
So if you're working a regular job, let's say you're working 8 hours, you got a full-time job, you're lucky, you got a full-time job, right? Cool. But maybe you're not making enough. Maybe you have a kid, maybe you have 2 kids. You have to work another job. There's no other way. I mean, the only other way is if you have some passive income thing, but even that's working after you come home.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to work to build that.
Correct.
You're always working, you know? So you can't just come home after an 8-hour day. We're all tired. But after an 8-hour day, you can't come home and like not do anything, because then you're never gonna make more money.
Yeah.
It's just not gonna happen.
It's just crazy how
And some people are fighting for a higher minimum wage, and I will agree, a higher minimum wage does help.
Does it though?
It does help in the short term.
Short, okay.
But
That's
if you're spending all your time fighting for a higher minimum wage, when maybe you should
doing the same job.
maybe
yeah.
you should like instead use your energy to get a skill that just pays more.
That's true.
You know?
That'd make more sense.
You know, if you're making
It's funny
minimum
because
wage,
we
your
can
skills, you
use
don't
an
have
example.
skills.
We can use an example of here where McDonald's employees said they wanted minimum wage to be like $15. So what did McDonald's do? They created self machines
That's
that
what
said
happens, dude.
that people could do it. We're gonna still have
Exactly.
the people in the back, because there's always gonna be a need of jobs, and obviously it's
Of
just
course.
looking at it like right now you're talking about it, it's like it's crazy. Like,
You always need
really-
people, but you won't need as many people as you need today.
That's true.
You're gonna need less people. Like the further we go into the future.
To do what? Just
Everything.
labor jobs?
Everything.
Does that scare you? Because do you think that
No.
will be in our lifetime?
Yeah, it would definitely be in our lifetime.
Over under 25 years?
Under. But that doesn't scare me. The reason is because that's
can adapt?
that's the path, and humans, we have to adapt.
True.
Exactly.
Survival of the fittest. You gotta.
Yeah. I mean,
We
but everyone,
all have that mindset.
but everyone
of like,
has to be strong enough to adapt. You
Not
just
everybody is strong.
have to. Yeah.
That's the scary thing.
But
too,
everyone
because
can
it's
learn to be strong.
Do you feel bad for people out there who are right now our same age and they ain't got shit going on for their lives, or even a 35-year-old who's living at home with?
No, because everyone's different. Everyone's
Okay.
different. I used to think that everyone should have like these big goals, like like us or whatever.
Yeah.
I used to think that everyone.
I think
should,
that's why
like,
we
strive
came
for more,
together
but-
as friends, because it's like
Yeah,
we
but-
had that.
But
that one
people,
thing
the
together.
truth is that some people are really just happy working at Walmart. You ever seen the movie what is it, 1 Hour Photo with Robin Williams? Well, anyway, he worked at like Walmart, and he was like really happy there, and he worked like 25 years, and that was his life. He loved it.
But there's some people who do that. Some people who don't.
No,
this stuff. And I
That's
think,
what I'm saying.
I think that
And for those people who genuinely love their job,
they don't care about the
you're,
money.
yeah, but you're not. You're never gonna have a lot of money. For those people, I think it's. I don't know what the solution is. But when you get comfortable, you're.
If we were to break it down to percentage, I would say 50% of the people out there get comfortable in their life.
Yeah, it's
and
easy
that
to get
is, I don't know if that's still a fear of yours. This is a cutaway.
Yeah.
So basically, this is the first time we're doing it. So if you're hearing the audio difference from our mics to the camera.
If we're talking about something completely different, just forgive us.
Yeah. We're just figuring. So we're basically wrapping it up.
Yeah,
now.
we're gonna wrap it up.
We had, I believe, 24 minutes. So it only didn't record like 10 minutes, which is fine.
Yeah.
I'll figure that out in post.
Exactly.
Good thing I got 7 months to do.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
No, but next episode, audio will be better. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Back screen will be nicer, everything.
Yep.
But
It
so
looks exactly the same.
just different shirt.
Yeah.
Different head. But yeah, so basically coming to an end. I mean, I appreciate you again. I appreciate you coming out, giving your opinion, giving the whole thing. And I would actually like to interact, and I do this. Like, I like people to I never say it, but to comment down what you think your ideal minimum wage is, because I want to hear other people.
Your ideal yearly.
Let's say
salary.
10,000 people watch this episode. I want to hear, at least from 10% of you, what you think, it is, and the situation that you're going through, so we can kind of help us. There could be, a 35-year-old guy who's like, well, I make $400,000 a year. I'm a doctor. I went to school for
And it's
15
not
years.
enough.
No, it could be that, or you can be honest with us and say, look, I'm miserable. I hate that every day I got to go to work and tell somebody in a new family that they're going to die.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
That took a dark turn. Yeah.
But that's true though. Like you never know. Like these people, because when you're in the I would like to know the stats of how many people go to become a medical or become a doctor, and don't ever go fulfill it. You know,
Yeah.
like don't ever fulfill the whole thing.
Right.
I'm sure that there's a kid that probably starts medical school is like, oh, this is what I'm out,
Mm-hmm.
and goes and works at, I don't know, Starbucks
Yeah.
for, you know, barely the minimum wage. So it's I don't
whatever
know.
makes you happy. But anyway, like we were talking about money, like just I guess we're in a position where we're rebuilding our
Yeah.
finances. So
Yeah, don't get into credit card debt. That's all that. If I can
Exactly.
walk away with this video giving you one advice,
interest is
save.
stupid.
Yeah, save. Please, say that again.
I said interest is stupid. They give you these introductory 12-month no interest, and you're flying high on a kite. You're like, oh, I got just hit the minimum payment, man. $25 a month. I can do that. And then next month, bam, 170.
27% APR. You're like, wait.
Yeah, and then every month it gets worse and worse. If you keep using the card, your
Yeah.
monthly bill will just skyrocket.
And that's how
people lose their homes, dude.
Dude, and that's how credit card companies make their money,
Yeah,
off our
exactly.
interest.
So just
Of our
pay it.
stupidest.
Pay it. If you got debt, just pay it.
Yeah, please do, because
Make that the first thing you do. That's the takeaway of this money thing.
okay.
If you got debt, make that the first thing you do.
Yeah, forget about the new car. Do you have a car right now that gets you to point A to point B to point C and back to point A?
Yeah.
Keep that car. Don't sell it. Don't. Oh my God, the person next to me has a Tesla. Who cares?
I got a new car. Be totally transparent. Last
Okay.
year, I had a graphic design job. Everything was good, right? I bought a new car, and I lost my job like maybe a couple months later. And in the last 6 months, I haven't been employed or whatever. And like, I'm supposed to make this payment to this car. It's and I'm gonna be honest. I had a Ford Taurus 2005, and it was giving me some trouble. But I talked myself into wanting to buy a new car.
But make sure. Oh, that's the last thing about money too. The difference between want and need. Make that, because I know you.
That's what I'm gonna talk about.
okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Because the car,
I know you.
I said I needed the car, and I talked myself into it. I didn't just talk myself into it. I talked my girlfriend into it. I talked everybody into it. I was like, man, my car's giving me trouble, and I was like,
At that point, you saw buying a new car would be better than dealing with these issues.
exactly. And you know what? But to be honest, I'm gonna be 100% transparent with
Please.
you. I wanted to impress people. I thought buying a new car would look cool.
It
I'd
does.
have something
Every
to.
time I see him, I'm like,
Yeah,
I like that
yeah.
car.
He's always complimenting my car, and I'm like, yeah, it's all right. It's
Like,
like,
you want to pay my monthly?
because
no?
the high leaves. It leaves
I think-
after like 2 months. Like it's not impressive that you have a car. By the way, my car is like as dirty as everyone else's car out there, and nobody cares. Nobody's looking at me, dude. I'm driving. Nobody cares that I have a new car. All you're left with is a giant payment and a higher insurance bill. That's all you're left with. I mean, I hope that feeds your ego every month when you pay that bill, but
That's in the
It's
transition
not,
that I'm
it's
in
not,
right now.
yeah.
And I'm talking about. If you
and
have a
you know
car,
what?
keep
You
it
told
car.
me too. Be 100% transparent. You were like, man, I'm thinking
Put
about
me
buying and all that,
I'm turning that off. Don't say the type of car.
All right.
If you heard a mute there, it's because I didn't want to say the type of car.
I was trying to buy a Bentley.
Yeah, a Bentley truck. No, but yeah, I was telling you that earlier.
Yeah,
today,
yeah, but-
just on our way to
He's interested in like buying a car because he's got a old. Something
Okay,
like that.
that's been muted again. I don't want people to know the car that I drive. You didn't say the car that you're driving. If there's mutes, you don't have to say the car. But for me, I don't rather people not know what the car.
All right.
that I have. But
I mean, it's not like you're flexing.
yeah, I'm not. I'm not. Not at all. I'm not. But the best thing is, the car that I have right now, I finished paying it last year,
Yeah.
and it feels amazing to not have to pay every single month
Yeah.
for that car.
For sure.
And it's just like now I'm free. And what's the first thing that comes to my mind when I said, I'm done paying the car? I want to get again.
Yeah, you're
in
gonna
that
get another
system.
car. Yeah.
But I don't. I want to hang out. I want
good.
to enjoy, save that money. There you go.
But anyway,
That monthly
there's a
payment.
difference between wants and needs.
Yes.
And
People need to understand that first. So look at your financial situation and look at how much money you're making a year, and then instead of all the wants that you want, make points of the needs. You need toothpaste, you need your essentials, you need food,
That stuff
you
is
need
fine.
shelter. As long as you have those needs covered, you need things for your kid. You need things for your parents to help them, because a lot of people I know help their parents out.
Yeah.
If those are covered, then see how much money is left over, and then save that and be like, okay, in 5 years, I do want to buy myself a Tesla.
Yeah.
I'm going to be able to pay it off in 1 year. good for you. If you want to have a Tesla for the following 10 years of your life, go ahead. We're not telling you to not buy things, but we're telling you to think about it, because this whole thing of money, at the end of the day, I want to leave this note: money's just paper. We're the ones that put value behind that money.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like you're gonna pay it back anyway. Yeah.
What do you mean?
You're gonna pay the money back, but you're gonna work hard to pay it back.
Yeah. So
it's
find some means.
Buy your nice things, but enjoy it.
Yeah,
but anyway, I think that's it.
I think
we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know what else.
So yeah,
We'll see you next
money,
month.
folks. We'll be back with a new topic
tomorrow.
Yeah.
You'll understand.
Yeah, you'll understand tomorrow.
Within the week. Tomorrow we'll come back and we're all different. Come back, which is cool. But like I said, this hasn't been done. You say it does. I think you're saying that as a joke, but this has not been done on YouTube yet. And this year
It's been done, dude. It's done all the time.
Find me somebody who's done it. Exactly what we're doing in a series. Find me, and then I would be like, okay, I stole the idea from this person, which I did it. This was an idea I had with
I don't
Brian.
think it matters. I think we're just making a video for you to enjoy.
Yeah.
That's where, in 4 minutes.
But nobody's ever done this, so.
I'm pretty sure people have. You know how many people are on YouTube?
Yeah, but they never thought about this. Dude, I've had ideas that I've seen, and I'm like, damn, nobody made it. And then
He doesn't watch enough YouTube.
That's true. It could be true, but whatever. I think this is something innovative doing, and maybe somebody will try to steal this, but hey, at least we did it. So thank you again, Brian.
No problem.
I'm excited for the next.
You're
my co-host. What do you mean having you? You're gonna be on here through the journey of the 7.
Yeah, I noticed after like half an hour, I get sick of this guy talking. I'm like yawning and like.
We're out of here.
We're out of here. We're out of here. Is it recording?
Just record 14 minutes.
We just had this conversation for no reason. And they're not gonna make you rich in like a year.